Nigeria Airways DC-8 Disaster Flight 2120 Horror. In the annals of aviation history, there are stories that capture the essence of human triumph and courage. And then there are those that haunt our collective memory. Nigeria Airways Flight 2120 belongs to the latter category. A tale of soaring hope that tragically turned into a horrifying inferno. This is the story of Douglas DC-8, an aircraft that met its darkest fate on a fateful day in 1991.
Flight 123, this is Control Tower. You're cleared for takeoff into a world where aviation history unfolds, revealing untold stories of triumph and tragedy. Welcome aboard to Aero accident, and buckle up for a captivating journey as we unravel the mysteries of the skies together.
The Flight's Odyssey. Our story begins on the sun-soaked airways of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Nigeria Airways Flight 2120, a chartered service, was entrusted with the sacred duty of ferrying pilgrims from the holy city of Mecca to Sokoto, Nigeria. The aircraft in question was the venerable Douglas DC-8 61, a workhorse of the skies. Since its birth in 1968, it wore the registration CGM-XQ, leased from a Canadian company called Nollis Air. However, it was not Nation Air Canada's usual gig, but a testament to their flexibility in filling gaps in the market. Their mission? To serve the Hajj pilgrimage, one of the most significant movements of people in the world. As the Douglas DC-8 61, bearing the weight of dreams and devotion, ascended from Jeddah's runways, all seemed well. Captain William Allen, a seasoned pilot with a storied career, commanded the aircraft, accompanied by First Officer Ken Davidge, equally experienced in the cockpit. The takeoff was smooth and the passengers, blissfully unaware, settled into their seats for the homeward journey. But unbeknownst to the crew, a silent menace lurked within the aircraft's underbelly. A fire had ignited during the departure, concealed from their view as there was no fire warning system in the critical area where the flames smoldered. Vital seconds ticked away and crucial opportunities to address the impending disaster slipped through their grasp. Pressurization began to falter, and the cockpit became a cacophony of warning signals. Captain Allen decided to maintain an altitude of 2,000 feet in response to the loss of cabin pressure. Meanwhile, First Officer Davidge struggled with hydraulic issues, though neither of them realized the airplane was engulfed in flames. The unfolding tragedy took another cruel turn when Captain Allen misidentified the aircraft as Nation Air Canada 2120. This miscommunication led air traffic control to misunderstand the gravity of the situation, assuming it was a Saudi flight experiencing pressurization problems. It wasn't until a flight attendant burst into the cockpit, panic etched across her face, that the crew finally became aware of the inferno raging behind them. "Smoke in the back, it's real bad," she urgently exclaimed. The situation had escalated to a point of no return. Ailerons were lost, forcing Captain Allen to wrest control of the aircraft, just as the cockpit's voice recorder failed. As air traffic control realized the mix-up and directed the flight towards a runway, it became a race against time and elements. At an altitude of 2,200 feet and 18 kilometers from the airport, witnesses on the ground watched in horror as bodies tumbled from the stricken plane. The fire had consumed parts of the cabin floor, and the aircraft began to disintegrate. Just shy of 3 kilometers from the airport, it became uncontrollable, hurtling towards the earth in a deadly spiral. In an instant, the lives of all the remaining passengers and crew members were tragically extinguished. Hey, before we move on, make sure that you're subscribed to our channel. We have a lot more in store for you. So stay tuned and don't forget to like this video. The harrowing descent of Nigeria Airways Flight 2120 into a fiery abyss was not a simple stroke of misfortune, but a culmination of neglect and oversight that spanned several days before that ill-fated takeoff. An investigation was launched into this incident to find out how the inferno began. The investigation started with the inspection of the plane, and during this inspections, mechanics noted that tires number 2 and 4 were dangerously underinflated, nearly 20 psi below the minimum value. Astonishingly, nobody thought to reinflate them. Even more puzzling, someone inexplicably altered the recorded tire pressure values, misleadingly indicating that they were at 160 psi instead of the required 180 psi. No actual inflation took place. As the aircraft continued its journey, it returned to Accra for a scheduled tire replacement. However, a locked storage room housing the new tires delayed the process. Just as the mechanics were about to go to work, an urgent fax arrived from project manager Aldo Tetamenti, emphasizing the critical need to get the aircraft back to Jeddah promptly. The mechanics, along with the operations officer, made a fateful decision. They prioritized the Nigeria Airways contract over the tire replacements, loading the new wheels and tires into the cargo hold with the intention to replace them upon the aircraft's arrival in Sokoto. Little did they know that this choice would set the stage for a catastrophe. The underinflated tires, seemingly innocuous, became the linchpin in a chain reaction of events that would lead to a devastating in-flight fire, ultimately claiming 261 lives. The tragic saga of Nigeria Airways Flight 2120 continued its relentless descent into chaos and horror as the events spiraled out of control. Underinflated tires, a seemingly minor issue, initiated a catastrophic chain reaction. As the aircraft roared down the runway for takeoff from Jeddah, the compromised tire number 2 separated from its wheel rim, creating sparks that ignited a firestorm. Unaware of the inferno brewing beneath them, Captain Allen initiated the landing gear retraction upon reaching altitude, effectively inviting fire inside the airplane. The flames grew ravenously, consuming anything combustible in their path and rupturing hydraulic lines, which sprayed flammable hydraulic liquid, further fueling the inferno. The rupture in the fuselage caused a rapid depressurization, adding another layer of chaos to the unfolding nightmare. As Captain Allen desperately sought clearance to return to the airport, the fire breached the central fuel tank. The uncontrollable blaze spread in all directions, while further hydraulic fluid loss rendered the aircraft's control systems utterly dysfunctional. In a terrifying climax, the fire breached the cabin floor. Passengers, many of whom were flying for the first time, faced an unimaginable ordeal as the airplane descended towards the ground. Bodies fell from the sky as the once proud Douglas DC-8 plunged towards the earth, claiming the lives of all remaining passengers and crew. The disaster etched itself into history as one of the deadliest involving a Douglas DC-8. The consequences and fallout. The aftermath of Nigeria Airways Flight 2120's catastrophic crash left a trail of devastation, injuries, and irreparable damage. The ill-fated flight cast a spotlight on Nation Air Canada's training and procedures, prompting intense scrutiny from Transport Canada and the aviation community at large. However, amid the darkness, a small glimmer of hope emerged. The aviation industry learned vital lessons from this disaster. Smoke detectors and fire extinguishers in wheel wells became standard, and tire safety measures were rigorously reinforced for mechanics and pilots alike. While it couldn't bring back the lives lost, it ensured that such a tragedy would not be in vain. Above all, Nigeria Airways Flight 2120 stands as a solemn tribute to the lives lost that fateful day. It serves as a reminder of the eternal need for vigilance, training, and a commitment to ensuring that such a tragedy never repeats itself in the skies. As we close this chapter, we honor the memory of the 261 souls who perished, hoping that their legacy contributes to safety for all those who journey through the boundless realm of the skies. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to book your tickets for our next journey by subscribing to our channel. And if you found this story to be truthfully captivating, you can find many like it on our channel. Also, don't forget to comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. We appreciate your interactions. And if you wouldn't mind, do share this with your friends and stay tuned for the next one. Until then, I bid you farewell.